family. How you doing out there today? This is Mr. E, Victor E, here coming before you today to just want to talk to you for a moment. Boy, am I heated today. And I really don't know what and how this is going to come out. But it's just like I just can't sit here and hold on to this. And it may not make it to the air, may not make it to YouTube, but I'm damn sure going to talk about it right now. But how do I talk about this? The best way I can think of it is something that I learned as a young man about being someone who would honor your word. And my father always told me that a man is known by his word. And your word's supposed to mean something. It means, and the only thing that I can come up with similar to that, that would simulate that, is a brick. A goddamn strong brick is back then, like back there with Carver and the Tuskegee University. In order to make that brick more solid, they added straw to the brick. They would add straw in there, and that would hold that brick together and make it a strong, solid brick. But if you didn't have that ingredient in there, that brick would be weak as shit. And that's what I see. As men, we're supposed to be bricks. Bricks that you can build up on. Something that can handle some weight, or someone who can be responsible for their word, and someone you can depend on. And when you say that you say something comes out of you, you say it. You mean what you say, and you say what you mean, and you hold on to your word. You do what you say you're gonna do. How the hell can anybody build with someone else when they won't do their part as a brick? Men, we're supposed to be bricks. We're supposed to be able to build together. Put one brick down and stack the other one on top of the other and come up with a building and build. But when your ass is weak to where no one can depend on you. No one can depend on you. Your word means nothing. Just think about that for a minute. We as a people, we as a culture, I keep seeing us going down, 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 and I'm looking for the answer. Let me try to calm down. I'm looking for an answer that will help these youngsters, Lord have mercy, to try to know what it means to be a man. And it's not about your goddamn sexuality. It's about, does your word mean any goddamn thing? That has nothing to do with your sexuality. You can be gay, straight, in between, crooked, circle, whatever you are. But your word ought to be able to be, people should be able to depend on your word. And that's what makes you a man. That's what makes you solid, an image of God. That your word means something. And I'm telling you, lately, it's becoming more prevalent. I'm seeing it more often. I'm almost seeing it every day, where young men, now I know women, I know some women that probably keep their words better, but we don't usually look for women, and I hate to sound this way, but I really don't think of them when I think about building. I be trying to build with, I've always seen women as nurturers. Okay, fault me. I'm just looking at nature. But men, understanding that we are supposed to be builders of our communities, of our homes, our families, and what have you. It's about building. And we, of all people, need to be able to build right now. And somewhere we as older men have dropped the ball. And I guess I can't blame the youngsters. But this is where it's showing up to be so obvious. And they seem to have no concern about their words and what they mean. It's almost as though if this is what they think being a man is, trying to play games, to not just talk straight. When I was teaching school, I would always tell the boys, if you bad enough to throw the rock, then be bad enough to own up to it. That's a man. But if you throwing the rock, then hide in your hand. You are a little boy. You say one thing and you do another. You're always making promises. You're always saying you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, or whatever, and you never follow through. And it doesn't cross your mother that you have broken your vow as a man. It doesn't even cross your mind that you cannot be depended on. Doesn't cross your mind. Who can build with you when your word means nothing? And I'm just talking about casual conversation, casual interactions, whatever, just living your life. I have a brother right now who, a good friend of mine. He's been in jail. He's had the run-in with the law. But I tell you, what I've learned from this brother, he knows how to stand on his square. If he tells you he's going to do something, he does it. If he tells you he's not going to do something, he doesn't. He doesn't do it. You can depend on his word. He's a hard worker. And he's down at probably his lowest, but it's because of pride. But sometimes pride is a good thing. I know the Bible says pride goes before a fall, but that's only when you got the goddamn devil on your back trying to destroy you just because you're trying to stand for something. That's why Martin Luther King went to, how many times did he go to jail? Over 30 sometimes? Because they tried to break him. And we as black men, that's what has happened. We have been broken because it is hard to find one that will stand. I got a couple of friends right now, classmates from high school. I love those brothers. You can take their word to the bank. If they say they're going to do something for you, it's done. And if they're not going to do it, they're going to tell you it's not going to be done. But they stand on their word because their word means something. We grew up in a community where men were men then, and we were raised by those men. And it meant something. It was degrading for a man to say something and then not do it. Because you have to build on the other man. We are like bricks. We stack. And we don't need no goddamn weak-ass bricks with bricks that you know has no goddamn straw. This is what we're dealing with in this community. This is what we're dealing with as black men. This is why we'll never come up. We'll never come up until we learn how to relate to one another. Instead of trying to tear each other down. Build each other up. Stand up and understand that you are an important part of the building. And it starts with you one-on-one with your own character. Learn to love yourself and love the fact that you can be depended on. And that someone can build on you because your word means something. And when you see that your word is not going to come through, you go to that brother and you tell him, look, brother, I wasn't able to do what I needed to do. But I get it right the next time, or I do it the next time, or you can depend on me the next time, I'm going to have it right. And then you do it. But we got some weak-ass, proud, weak bricks in our community. And they think that their manhood has something to do with something else other than your goddamn character. And I hate to really go here. I hate to use this kind of language because this is something that I really put down 40 years ago. But sometimes you have to pick up this stuff again just to make a point. An exceptional point that is really necessary if we're going to make a difference in this community, in any place on this earth, especially here in the USA. This is a problem. And it seems to be getting worse. Either I'm beginning to hang around. No. I spend time with a lot of different characters. A lot of different people, even people, I've seen this even in older people, probably as old as I am. I've seen it also. They think that you don't see them, but you see it. It's like a flaw in their character. This is very important. No one can build with you, and maybe they don't desire to build, but even with that, be a man and say that. What is wrong with you? Why do you throw the rock and hide your hand? Stand up and be a damn man and speak your speech. Speak what you have to say and be done with it. Then you know, both of you know, how to build in the future. But this is really frustrating because I know that God is saying that this is the key to us coming up out of this situation that we're in. I know that. You cannot build, and our problem is building. Slavery has taught us how to not trust each other and how not to stand up and know the truth and let the truth set you free, whether you live or die. I don't even know whether I'm at that point, but I know we are fucking off track. And the only way you're going to get on track is to at least identify the problem and accept the responsibility of becoming a man. And manhood has nothing to do with sexuality. It has to do with you being able to be a solid man of God that knows how to keep your word. Because your words have power. And they have the power to create and to destroy. Brother, we need to wake up. I didn't even really think this one through when I came, but I'm speaking in anger, and therefore it may not make it to the video. It may not make it out there to YouTube, because I don't usually do this. But it might be necessary. Where are the Malcolm X? I love Farrakhan. And let me put that right. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan. I tell you one thing, that brother knows how to stand up men. And make men stand up and know what that means. Even though I'm not a Muslim.